It's like
So we're good. Okay, it is 6 o'clock on the dot. We'll go ahead and start the February 10th, 2026 meeting of the Spiceland Town Council. First on the agenda is minutes of the prior meeting of the Town Council.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
That's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion passes. Okay, next is the superintendent's report from Jeff.
Not much, just trying to survive tough winter. We've had a couple water leaks. One of them was on the Ripley property, and they repaired that. It was a big main leak, and I thought that was going to get us back to normal usage, but it did for about a day or two, and now we're right back where we were at.
Okay.
Fixed another leak just the other day, as you guys know. It was bad, it wasn't that bad. So today we're still over a couple 100,000 gallons again. Guys see water anywhere, tell hope.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of water room right now.
Yeah, that's the problem. But we're looking. That's about it.
Okay. The clerk, next to the clerk treasurer report, Hope, what do you have?
I don't have a whole lot. The gentleman who does our updating of our code ordinance book reached out to me, and I sent him all of our new ordinances and everything, so he could give us an estimate on what it would take to update it. It has not been updated since 2018, and he says he's looking between $2,000 and $2,900 to upgrade it to current.
Would that also, we'll get an electronic file that we could put online to PDF?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think it needs to be done. I mean, we need to keep our ordinances up to date. Like, we need to, just for our own reference, but also anybody else has questions.
Yep, I agree.
Okay. I'll get that for you, taken care of.
Do you want a motion on that, or no?
Do you want to approve him right now, or you want to wait till we get it? Kind of support back from him?
I mean, he said that, that with all the updates that I sent him and everything, our estimate for this supplement is in a range of $2,000 to $2,900, so.
Okay, so do you want to go?
I'll make a motion to approve up to $3,000 to update our ordinance books.
With a second? With a second. Okay, so moved and seconded to approve up to $3,000 for the updates to our physical ordinance books and our an online copy of our ordinances through, what is this? What's the business?
It's called American Legal Publishing.
Through American Legal Publishing. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Do you happen to know when the last time we did an update was?
He just said it hadn't been updated since, he might have sent in 2018 stuff, so it hasn't been.
That's probably right.
It has to be budget on here.
Yeah.
Updated, so that was 23, something like that.
I think that the last time I remember updating the book, I was sitting at the county building doing it, so.
I'll get that started then. The only other thing I have is, I had some, TextMyGov reach out to me, and I set through, a Zoom call with him. You all have a package, in your package there, but then basically what it is it's an opportunity for the town, say for myself, or I could put Jeff on it or whatever, that would send out text messages of, issues we have going on with the power, issues we have with water. I can say a little, a lot, as much as I want. We can pinpoint it to individual areas to say if it's just affecting, Maple Street or something, I can send it just for those kind of, it sounds pretty interesting. The downside is I don't know how often we would use it. And it runs about $2,000 a year.
Well, I think,
So,
in my opinion, I mean, I know we get a lot of calls and texts and everything, when the power's out, I know I get like redundant calls and text messages, Hope does, Jeff does, I can't speak for everybody else, but, you know, if we can notify them, you know, so that, hey, we're on it, we don't need,
right.
we don't need to blow up Donna with 50 folks on out and slides when there is, yeah, like, we're aware of the situation, also stuff like, here at the end of the year, like snowstorms, you know, it moved trash pickup day off, or people are asking questions about large item
And
pickup.
a lot of people pay attention to our Facebook. I try to go on Facebook and update through there, to keep kind of, but not everybody does that either, so,
So you have to opt into this texting, like we would have to say like, hey, submit your phone number to this.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah, so that's what we do, have to collect
There
data.
could be
from-
charges to people that don't have, like, you don't have a data plan. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, so they have to opt into it. And it's just a program that I would just have to go through, and like I said, I can update it anytime, and it shoots out, you know, to individual phones and things like that, so. I just wanted to try to be, you know, a couple months before I got back with him, let him know what we thought. And things like that. So we can have time to look it over, but.
The opting in is the hard part. And I remember we had, the county, this was when H. Baker was still commissioner, which is a while back, there was a program, you remember that? I think it's still on the books. What was it called? But it was like an emergency response, and you opted in, the county could send you responses, and I feel like nobody ever signed up for it. Remember?
yeah, I remember talking about it.
I mean, they did it. I mean, and we were, it was like the town was able to opt into it, and I think we had the ability that we could notify them, same type of deal, that like if there was a water main break or something. But just, it seemed like nobody signed up. I think I was signed up, and I think I might have even like opted out because I got tired of getting the stuff.
And especially in the middle of the night, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Something to think about.
we have it at prison, and there's a bunch of different ones. We've been through 3 of them. I think there's better parts. There's one like we use one called Rapid Notify. I kind of find out while we're paying, and at least we can use some comparison. You know, if we want to go around, I didn't want people going out and about and spice them. You know, that's, you know.
I mean, it seems to have worked up to this point,
Yeah.
you know. Donna set me up to where my stuff's pretty much approved right away to post anyway, so, you know, it just doesn't touch this view that doesn't, you know, have it, but we're just having something to, you know, just have to play around and think about.
Yeah, I think, Scott, if you look at, you know,
Yeah.
a couple of those that you guys have used, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll just look at pricing for something,
Yeah.
but.
They got one that's called Rave Alert, and they got one that's called Rapid Notify. And we've used 3 or 4 different ones, and they're all the same, really, but. There's some work on your part too, set up like, groups and those kind of things, you know, it has to be managed and,
Yeah, just, you know, just throw it out there, so,
Okay.
you know, think about it. I don't have anything else.
Next on the agenda is Steve Rubel with Strand Associates about the, community crossing grant.
Thanks for inviting me back. We were here last year to talk a little bit about community crossings and put together some information for you. At that point in time about the program, we're in the next cycle. You know, we did move forward during that cycle. A couple things have changed in the program. One of the interesting things is that the step where you inventory and rate your roads, not that it makes a big difference to you as the end user, but to us, they have now required that to be done by what they term a certified PACER rater. So you basically have to go through training. Not a bad idea, right? Before anybody could go out there, and they might not have had any background whatsoever in assessing roads. We're set up for that. I'm now certified pacer rater. We have other folks in the office who can do that. But just that's one little thing that's different. Looking for town of Spiceland specifically, next steps for you all, if you were looking to move forward, would be that you would need to have that initial step done where you have your asset management plan and your ratings in to LTAP and approved by December 1. So that's the first milestone date that you're kind of up against. If you did want to move forward with us, the only thing I would ask is that we look to get that done before July 1, and the reason is we have compensation adjustments for us happen July 1, and I can get it done for you at a little lower price if we do it before July 1. Not trying to pressure you or anything, but just something to keep in mind. And there's no penalty or no reason not to do it a little earlier. And then after that, you've got that December 1 time frame to get that initial information in, and then they will open up. NDOT will open up calls for projects in July. So you're looking at July 2007 to actually submit your application. And then they usually make those announcements in the December time frame, who's awarded.
Okay.
So those are kind of the three milestone dates, is that December 1 date, July for your application, then December for the award if you're awarded, and then you would go into construction after that.
So we're looking at 28 before we actually see some. Is that
28 before your pavement would hit the ground. Yeah, that's the way the program's set up now. They set it up for one application, one award a year. As soon as they did that, now there's some special legislation potentially going through for another spring call. I don't know. I wish I could tell you. But based on where you all are, you're definitely, your next eligible application would be July of 27.
Mm-hmm. We have to have the PACER rating done before December 1st of this year.
That's right. Yeah, to be eligible. Yeah. And then, if it's a program that y'all want to pursue year after year, then you kind of get on the cycle, and you're eligible every year after that. So, I'd be happy to answer any other questions you have about the program or timing or.
Well, we've already approved the funds. For it. So do we need? Is there any change in your fees or anything? Is there any? We need to resubmit a new bid done? Do we need to look over, or?
I think they said they were going to be cheaper.
not in the fee I submitted. They would go up more, I think is what I said. But I like that. Yeah, there'll be a small adjustment because we're on a different cycle, and we've missed that last cycle. So there'll be a small adjustment. And what I think would be prudent is for us to get an agreement in front of you, a task order that says, hey, we'll do your initial PACER ratings by December 1st, and we'll do your application come in July.
Would we be looking at two separate times to fund it then? Are we going to fund the PACER rate and then then fund the application, or you want to just, would it be one package, or?
I can set it up however you like. If there's issues with the, you know, when you all sign an agreement and the amounts and all that, in my original proposal letter, I had it broken up as two pieces. The first piece was your PACER rating and your application, and I think the amount I had on that back then was $15,000. And then the second part was design and construction services. Once you get your grant, then we would put together the drawings, procure the contractor, and help you through construction. And that was $30,000.
So we have the funds available. I mean, you mentioned that after July, those funds, those rates could go up. I mean, so if we went in, let's just say, could you resubmit? And then next month we could, you know, look over it and vote on it. And my preference would be, and we can certainly discuss it, would be, let's just move forward with, you know, and let's get the best bang for our buck.
Yeah.
But we were ready to move this year, as you know, and, you know, to no fault of yours, or, you know, just the way that government works. Like they're not as efficient as the town of Spiceland, but, right. But we were ready to move, so that would be my first, if you would resubmit, we could look over it.
Yeah. Would you rather me just provide numbers, or would you like for me to bring a draft agreement that y'all could pass and we can get going?
I'd like to do it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
But once we get that, because we may look at doing some crack sealing or something, but we, you know, once we want, this is priority. I think everybody agrees to that, and so we'll get that put in place, then we'll look at our funds, what's left, and maybe do a little bit of crack sealing next year. We talked about that. I think we did talk about
We did talk about it, yeah.
And,
Or even, well, I think actually we said that this year.
yeah, actually this year.
Yeah.
Because, like, Main Street, that was $100,000 project, and there's just some cracks in it, and I think we've had some I feel good about the cracks that we've done. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to just, let's get the agreement, let us look at it and move forward with that. That'd be priority number one, and priority, then our secondary would be looking at some crack sealing and trying to preserve what the roads we do have, so.
I can certainly do that.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have that for you next month.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you coming.
Thank you, yeah. I know it's a long drive for you, so we appreciate you being up here.
This is what I do. It's a 2-hour drive or hour and a half drive is nothing. We cover big swaths of the state of Indiana.
Well, thank you, Steve.
Not a problem at all. Thank you.
Okay, we'll to the next item here is the discussion, of approval or disapproval of the claims.
I'll make a motion to approve the claims as written.
Do we have a second? It's been moved and seconded to accept the claims as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Okay, motion passes. Okay, does the council, anyone on the council have any old business we need to into?
New report. We got the title search back from, on the lien, and I drafted it, and I thought I sent it to Dawn for her review, but I guess I haven't, so we're ready to file it.
Okay.
I do have one question, and maybe Darren's the only one that can answer that. Let me pull it up. There was a reference in the title search that the Henry County assisted in tearing it down, and they have part of the lien. Is that? I mean, I'm just reading off the title search. Do you recall that? Let me pull it up.
I don't recall.
You don't recall it, Jeff?
Yeah, I thought we paid it out of, the housing, with
Yeah, there's a,
See, it says removal or demolition of an unsafe structure filed by South Henry Regional Way.
oh, that's the sewer.
Remove, the removal of the sewer.
Yeah, I'm guessing the sewer district probably has a lien on it, sounds like.
Well, they have several, but they have, most of them are sewage liens.
Unsafe
And
structure.
there's a
Yeah.
removal or demolition lien.
Yeah, they remove them after they've set for so long, don't they?
They remove the sewer.
When they're kind of
Yeah.
abandoned, I think.
Okay,
no,
so that's what that would be.
It wasn't the structure.
It wasn't the structure.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I had the question on. All right.
that would be out of this, it would be probably.
Yeah, I think we paid it out of unsafe building.
Yeah, we did. We did.
So, hopefully I'll get it by tomorrow.
So what's that process look like? I mean, just walk us through, like, once it's filed, what's the
timeline.
steps and the timeline?
We have to, file publish it 3 times in the newspaper, which is a month, basically. And then they have 23 days to answer, which, you know, Mr. Gilbert is long gone. Probably will default him in a couple of months.
So, I mean, essentially, what we're asking is, it's time to pay us back.
We're asking for a judgment. And so then, after we get that judgment, we then, file for sheriff's sale, kind of like a foreclosure, because we're foreclosing the liens, and then we'll bid on our judgment and get the property.
Okay.
Hopefully. Hopefully no one else. Well,
But if somebody bids on it,
If someone
then
does
it
want
pays, then it pays.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And also if they sell it
Yeah.
there's a lien on the property, so
They would, if someone buys it, they have to.
they'll buy it with the lien.
At closing, we would get our funds
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
first.
I mean, we don't, I mean, to me, I mean, if we don't end up with the lot, we don't end up with the lot. But, I mean, obviously, we put money into getting that tore down, so if someone else buys it, you just hope that, like, someone doesn't buy it and then it continues to sit. But I do know that the reason why it came to my attention was that someone did tell me that it was for sale and that they were potentially interested in it.
Mhm.
So there is someone out there who's potentially interested in it. But I mean, if we get our money back, I think that's a plus. I mean, we tore it down because it was falling down and full of raccoons. So.
Yeah, I met one of them.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good catch that we get moving forward with this before we lose the opportunity to at least recoup our costs, if not get a lot.
Okay, is there any other old business we need to discuss in the council? Okay, is there any new business we need to discuss?
Well, you know, this is our first meeting since January 19th, right? Like, we haven't had a meeting since, right? I think it would be amiss if we didn't go on record and congratulate the Indiana Hoosiers on it. 15-0 national championship. To win. I think years from now, people will probably look back at our memory and know that we recognize. So I would like to make a motion that we enter into our minutes, to congratulatory, well wishes to the Indiana Hoosiers on a national championship. Well deserved, and most of us thought we would never see that in our lifetime. So, we look forward to reviewing those minutes.
I'm writing
Guys, move this, so we have, we'll second it.
I was hoping to get a second from Jack.
I will be voting today on that. Nonetheless, it has been properly moved and seconded.
Point of order, Mr. President. So you are aware that if this ends up in a tie vote, the clerk treasurer has to vote on any ties. So,
You want me to real quick, buddy?
It's gonna go out all across the
Waiting for the point of order for the point of clarification. So now we'll go ahead and vote. It's been properly moved and seconded to officially recognize the undefeated IU football team championship for 2025-2026 season. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
out of respect, I'll say aye. Out of respect for staff.
And in return, that's
In return, should the Purdue Boilermakers ever win a national championship in anything?
Okay.
You can do one for the moon, because they're gonna be on the moon.
We can.
There you go. There you go. So, that was your path.
Can we buy Jack and Hoosier?
I think we should, yes, I'll actually ship it tonight, at my own personal pocket.
I don't know if I could do that where I couldn't, I couldn't wait to do that.
Actually, Jamie and I's t-shirt came in the day that Indiana beat everyone.
And they now would be Boilermakers.
And even in basketball.
Yeah. None of us have the Put flags on the house.
Well, thank you all.
Powerful,
Oh, thank you. I know what it is.
Do we have any other new business that the board wants to bring forward before we go to the audience?
I do want to recognize Jeff and his crew on the snow removal. Just, I mean, everywhere I go in around here, our roads are the best, and I had people who I work with say, the roads in Spikes are better than everywhere.
Mhm.
And, I don't know if you guys just enjoy doing it, but you guys do an incredible job, and I appreciate it.
I wouldn't say enjoy.
I think Bobby does.
I think Bobby might. He's putting more out of anybody actually plowing. He just wouldn't go home.
Did a great job, and most of our residents did a good job of, trying to get off the road the best they could, and some can't, but, I just really went through that. I just appreciate Jeff, I really do.
You're welcome.
Hey, not to go back to old business, but any update on the insurance and the issue of the roof?
Yeah, they paid out on it, and we're just waiting on the weather to break to get the construction started, but it was right about $8,000, so.
I will bring up one other thing. I've got a school friend from years ago, and he's retired now, but he did run an engineering firm, and I was talking to him, we were talking about possibly a new building, and they actually, RQAW is the firm, and they actually just built a new town building in Wheatland, Indiana, which probably, I don't know, you may know where Wheatland is, Darren may, because it's way down, it's a small town, almost the size of Spiceland, and they just built a new town building down there, and he was kind of throwing some figures in there. It was pretty reasonable, and so if we ever want to, he said he'd be happy to send somebody to come and just talk to us if we get to that point. We've thrown that up a few times, and if we want to start revisiting that, then that's kind of I got a contact anyhow that would be willing to come and talk to us about it. So.
Perfect, yeah.
A little bit bigger tree we can talk about now.
That's what got me just thinking about it, and then
I'll put a notch in this one and hope for a way.
Cheers on the other side.
But they do a lot of the small towns, town buildings, and those kind of things, so.
Well, that'll be good to keep our head.
Yeah.
Another thing we need to talk about, Hope, which Julie just reminded me, is the floodplain. We're gonna have to, do we need to schedule a meeting for that? Or what do we need to go moving forward? If you could refresh me on the email between the guy from
We need to amend the ordinance and repass it, because we had Henry County in there as administering, an appeal from a variance. and they didn't like that because we're no longer part of Henry County.
Okay, so we just need to amend, it's basically the same ordinance that we passed.
That's my understanding, right? I understand it, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't there something in there about, did he want to meet with us or something?
He said something about, yeah,
Right.
because there's like a certified, that, like, he wanted, there has to be a floodplain administrator or something like that, that has to be named.
Legislative new meeting with representatives of the community.
So,
So I mean, if we need to, we'd like to just put that as a position, either the superintendent or the clerk treasurer or the floodplain administrator, I would assume, in the ordinance.
you know,
What's that?
either or,
I don't know that it matters.
Yeah, I don't think it really does, I mean,
You guys want to do rock, paper, scissors?
you gonna be a floodplain administrator, guy? You love water.
I do remember. Or it could be the president of council too. We can go for the president.
What, I don't care, whatever you guys want to do. I don't know, whatever.
I would just make it superintendent. That's my recommendation. They just have to have a point of contact. They just have to have somebody who can.
So does he wanna, do you think that, through that email, do you think he wants to meet with the board, or do you think he just wants to talk to who we're going to make the floodplain administrator?
It says, meeting with representatives of the community at your earliest convenience, generally within 30 days.
Okay. So I guess we can just talk after this and kind of get the schedules together and see if there's at least a few of us that could get together and meet him, see what his availability is and everything. Are we gonna amend this tonight and vote on it?
okay. I'll have, I don't have an ordinance.
So we'll just take it to the next meeting,
Or
or we can just call special meeting, yeah. Okay, well, you just let me know, we can talk, and you let me know when we get it in proper ordinance form and everything, and then we'll,
I can have it done tomorrow.
that's fine, yeah. Okay, is there anything else, can you remember, we got there's another email from the State Route 3 corridor woman. Did she ever get back with you on information?
Other than that thing that she sent, might I forward it to you guys?
Yes, you forwarded it to
Yeah,
all of us.
that's it.
That she wants to set out basically an ordinance that, and she gave an example ordinance, but it's like a zero roadway fatality ordinance saying that.
I need to have it in place for some grants, for safety, is that,
Yeah.
I understand highway safety kind of grant?
Mm-hmm. It says that they've taken action, identified 10 areas of concern located in Decatur Rush.
I'm sure it's up your butter truck stop.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a State Road 3 corridor, that thing, apparently Rushville triggered this by trying, they're trying to get a certain grant, and then they're looking at this whole corridor from basically Greensburg all the way up here.
Yeah.
So, we can look at that, and when we pass this ordinance and everything with the floodplain and everything, we'll just go ahead and pass that. She gave a boilerplate one, but I don't know, have you had time to look at that? That'll give Julie time to look at it and everything, just to make sure.
Was there a time frame on how we should want?
Description will be included in the plan when it's completed in April 26th, so they're still working on the plan actually, but.
Okay. Can you remember anything else that we've emailed back and forth? I think those are the ones we dropped in. Okay, so I think that scratches new business for us. We'll move on to, audience questions and comments. Donna?
I got 2 or 3 things. I'll try to be really quick. I got this bill in the mail last week from the Courier Science that I have no knowledge about. Because townships don't write ordinances, we do resolutions. So, did I give you one there?
Got the one, got the one,
I'm
please.
sorry, I'm just forgetting about
Somebody.
That's where we asked
Please.
when did they bill it to you?
Well, my name's all over the ordinance. If you read the ordinance, and a township does resolutions, we don't do ordinances.
Yeah.
This was, yeah.
So, and I got bills for it, and this was published in the Courier Times, January 22nd.
The ordinance was, or you?
Apparently,
Okay.
so I'm just bringing this to your attention. But I know a little bit about the ordinance from watching the meeting last month, and I'm not opposed to the ordinance, but it's not in our contract. I mean, it's township equipment that you need to work out kind of an agreement with the township to.
This is where we increased the fees for
Yeah.
them going to, for the trucks going out.
Yeah, these were the suggested fees that they
But
upped
they
across.
upped it, okay.
Yeah, we definitely need to get that squared away with it since since there's a mix of town and township, on all this, I think we need to get that tied into it.
Yeah.
So,
And,
do you have a copy of the actual bill?
I gave it to Julie.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
I'd like to have permission to purchase that building box pantry to put out here by the town office door. I know there's been a lot of information requested.
Mm-hmm.
This is about 3 feet tall. And it's not very big, you don't want it to be very big.
Yeah.
And they're about half price right now, and I'm getting one for the town of Denver.
And this latches and everything, so
Yeah.
we're gonna, yeah. That was my only concern, I think, like you were saying on Facebook, like, gotta remember we have a lot of raccoons and foxes running around.
So, and my husband could put it together.
Okay.
It was just, and I would try to help post and everybody keep an eye on it.
Or are you thinking about putting it here on?
Either here or there, either one.
Okay.
Where would you want that?
We can probably put it, there's a battery box that's up here in this corner.
Yeah, the recycle bag.
You could probably put it there.
I'll keep it out of the weather and everything
Okay.
else. Yeah.
And the other thing is, real quick, is that we still need a representative from the town to regional waste district.
Okay.
I mean, like, really bad. We barely had it for them tonight.
Okay. We will work on that. We'll have to see, I know, we have a name, at least one name, I think someone responded. We put it out in the bills and everything. And, so we gotta discuss that and see if we had any, because I know we briefly discussed it around Christmas time,
Don't mention the person that did request, and I think he would be good. He's also on a cruise this week, so it wouldn't matter, but
Okay.
he's knowledgeable.
Well, we'll get that going, Don. I know that's something we're about 2 months past when we, really need to have someone there, so we'll have a discussion on that and everything and try to get that filled as soon as possible, but I think this blessing box is a really good idea, and,
I have money left in my community donation fund, so I really need to spend it, so
okay.
let's see if anybody will do it.
Good response from the community.
Yeah. And anything else, we need from the town in cooperation with us, just let us know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Denver.
That's all I got.
Is there anybody else that has any comment?
We're gonna get me more money.
Yes.
I wanted to, make a complaint about, an abandoned camper on my neighbor's property that, cats and coons are basically living in and crawling in and out of, and they come over my property and use the bathroom and mark their territory on my porch. And
Do you have an address of where this is at, so I can put it in my own notes?
I do not know the street address. I think it's something like 309.5 or something like that. No, it's 308.5, maybe. But it's Johnny Strong's property,
Okay.
and it's the camper that was on Carol Ware's property that he pulled over from the backyard of Carol's house, which, you know, had all coons and cats, and they just followed the camper over there. So,
Okay.
yeah. It's got an opening on the side of it, and they're climbing in and out of there, and they're just living underneath of it for shelter and whatever, but I wanted to make a complaint about it.
Nope, that's duly noted. So, we'll look into that. We're gonna, we'll talk to Matt about that, to have that looked at and everything. And, you know, we have the ordinances in place now that, you know, we gotta have to look into all of those.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
thank you for bringing that to our attention. Is there any other public comment? Okay, speak now or hold your peace.
Second to adjourn.
Yeah. So moved and seconded to adjourn the February 10th, 2026 meeting of Suffolk County Council. All those